Okay, so we talked about class information on Friday. Oh, boy, it's not the 14th, is it? So today, we're going to break the ice a little bit into the geometry/math portion of the class, and we're going to talk about solving equations. The equations that you're going to be solving today are one-step equations. So we're going to write down here, when solving. One-step equations. Isolate the variable by inverse operation. Isolate the variable by inverse operation. That is a fancy way, and if I get going too fast, please raise your hand and tell me, or just say, can you please slow down? Because sometimes I get going too fast. When solving one-step equations, isolate the variable by inverse operation. Inverse operation is just a fancy way of saying this, inverse operation. That's a fancy math way of saying do the opposite of what is being done to the variable. Do the opposite of what is being done to the variable. So if the problem looks like m plus 7 is equal to 12, and you're asked to solve for m, that means to get m by itself on one side of the equal sign. What's being done to the variable here? Well, right, in this case, they're adding 7 to the m, right? And something plus 7 equals 12. Well, inverse operation means to do the opposite of adding 7, which is to subtract 7. So to solve for m in this case, you subtract 7 from each side. These 7's cancel out, and the m is isolated now. It's by itself, and it's equal to 5. And you're done. If your variable is being subtracted by 9, what would you do here to solve for x? Yes? Add 9 to both sides. Very good, because that is the inverse operation of subtracting 9. The 9's cancel each other out. The x falls down. And 19 plus 9 is 28. Third type of problem you will see today is when there is a fraction in front of the variable. Now, did anybody buy a calculator yet?
I have one, but like I just need to ask if it's the right one.
Okay, I'll check to see if it's the right one.
I knew the first one I had wasn't the correct one, so just went out and bought it.
Okay, so it's going to be real important to get your calculators because in this case, this variable is being multiplied by 8/3. So the inverse of multiplying by 8/3 is to divide by 8/3 and divide by 8/3. The 8/3 on the left hand side cancel out and the b falls straight down. Okay, you may see it. Very good. You may see a problem in your assignment today that looks like the opposite of, or negative x over 10 is equal to 5. In this example, the variable is being divided by 10, right? Or to save yourself a step, the variable is being divided by negative 10. What's the opposite of dividing by negative 10?
Multiplying by -10.
Good, multiplying by negative 10. So in this case, x, if you multiply both sides by negative 10, yeah, exactly, it cancels out. You can cross-cancel these two negative 10s. They just go away. Not kidding. The x comes straight down. And 5 times negative 10 is equal to negative 50. Another problem you may see would be m divided by 3 is equal to 7. What's being done to the variable, Gene? Say again? Yes, but what's being done to the variable? What does that m over 3 mean in math? Yeah, it means division. It means m is being divided by 3. So you're going to do the opposite of that. The opposite of dividing by 3 is to multiply by 3. And you got to do it to both sides. So you just multiply 3 by both sides. So your m is equal to 21. And the last type of problem you'll see on your assignment today is if, for let's say you got negative 14, b is equal to 56. The variable is being multiplied by negative 14, so what's the inverse of that? Divide by? Negative 14. So divide by negative 14 and divide by negative 14. The 14s cancel out. The b falls straight down and the b is equal to negative 4. So I showed you examples of 5 or 6 different types of problems that you'll see on your assignment today. Is anybody confused about which step you need to do to solve for each different type of problem? Whatever's being done to the variable, you're just going to do the opposite to both sides of the equal sign. Okay? Your assignment for today is in that red book on your desk. And it's going to be on page. Be careful here on the page. It's P12. And the P is for like pre. It's not even chapter 1. It's super early in the book. On page P12, you're going to do problems 1 through 15. And then, when you're completely finished with that assignment, outside of class, you need to check Edline for homework. That means go on Edline and push in the homework folder. One second. Please listen to me for right now. Please, please, please listen to me.